All right, we have our point of view mini lesson. So go ahead and fill out your copy of these notes in your mini lessons folder of your OneNote. So you want to ask yourself for point of view, who is telling the story and what format is it written in? So that's what point of view is. Point of view is the perspective from which the story is told. So the two main points of, or main types of point of view are first person and third person point of view. So first person point of view is when a character in the story is narrating it. So when you have first person point of view, the narrator will use the pronouns I, me, or we to tell the story. So for example, I stood there red and mute like a stop sign. I felt like a freaky alien. So first person narrators can be either reliable or unreliable. So these are the types of first person point of view that we have to watch out for. So a reliable narrator tells what happens in the story in a way that is true and undistorted. So you're getting what is actually happening. They're not trying to lie in any way. It's just you can rely on the fact that they're telling the true and complete story. So something to remember is that most first person narrators are reliable narrators. So you can pretty much always assume that they are reliable because most of them are. However, we also have an unreliable narrator that comes with first person point of view. So an unreliable narrator does not tell the truth. They don't tell the true and complete story. Oop. So this can either be on purpose, like the narrator is trying to lie and deceive the reader, or they can be unreliable and not telling the truth because they might be immature or they might be intellectually underdeveloped. So they could be lying on purpose, or an unreliable narrator might not be doing it intentionally. They just might be immature or underdeveloped in some way. So those are the main types of first person narrators that you're going to see. Your second most common type of point of view is third person point of view. So third person point of view is when an outside narrator is telling the story. So with third person point of view, the narrator uses pronouns such as he, she, or characters' names. For example, home. Connor wonders how he can call the place he lives home when he's about to be evicted. So we have the characters' names. We have he. So this tells us that this is an outside narrator that is telling Connor's story. So something to keep in mind here as we talk about point of view is that the author is not the same as the narrator. Okay, they are not interchangeable. The author has written the piece, but the voice, the point of view, is the narrator's. So it's important to remember that we can't just assume that whoever the narrator is the voice of the author, because they're different things. So that's just something to remember. Okay, so now we have the main types of third-person point of view. Which are omniscient, limited, or objective. So omniscient, an omniscient narrator is all-knowing. So an omniscient third-person narrator knows the thoughts and the feelings of every character in the story. An omniscient narrator can see everything that is happening. So they can jump from person to person, they can be in multiple places, and know the thoughts of any character at any time of the story, past, present, or future. Like they might have a flashback to something that happened in the past, or they'll talk about foreshadowing and something that's happening in the future. So an omniscient narrator, I want you to think of an omniscient narrator. Think of it like the voice of an all-knowing God. That's like looking over the universe of that story. They know and can see everything. Okay, so that's omniscient. Then we have a limited third-person narrator. So a limited third-person narrator is a narrator whose knowledge, sorry, that's my email, is limited to the thoughts and feelings of just one character. So we know everything that one character is thinking, or it only goes to that scope. So we don't know things that are happening outside of that one character's experience. So it's limited to just one. And then we also have an objective third-person narrator. So an objective narrator is the narrator that the narrator that describes what's happening, but doesn't know what anyone is thinking. And doesn't give opinions about what's happening. So it's almost like they're just stating the facts of what is going on. They're not commenting on what they think or commenting on any opinions. It's just describing the events that are occurring. So that's an objective third-person narrator. All right. So these are your notes on point of view. Please make sure that yours is filled out with this information. And then when you're done, make sure you click turn it in. Whoops. Turn it in the assignment tab of Teams.